Hello, and welcome to A Month with Diabetes. This episode will follow two diabetics as they go to their doctor's appointment, the symptoms that they have, and how they deal with them. Please enjoy this episode.
Patient 1, Uno Diabetes, Type 1 Diabetes. Patient 2, Diabetes, Type 2 Diabetes.
Diabetes, appointment number 1.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sexy.
Oh, hi, I'm Diabetes.
Please take a seat. So, what are you in for here today?
Well, I've been peeing a lot lately, and I think because I'm peeing, it's making me really thirsty. I've also been eating a lot lately.
Okay. That sounds a lot like diabetes. Do you know what diabetes is?
I think it's a type of disease.
Yep, it's a disease. It has to do with your pancreas, and the cells in your pancreas will either produce insulin or not produce insulin, but it also can deal with a bad diet. So I think we're going to test you for diabetes today. Now that we are back in a larger office, back to diabetes. So, because of your symptoms, I think I'm going to do the glucose tolerance test on you. Okay, so the glucose tolerance test is pretty simple. Here's a nice pamphlet that will guide you through it, but I'll walk it along with you. So it's as you can see on the top, have you eaten within the past 8 hours?
I haven't. I was going to have this bag of chips before my appointment, but I didn't have time.
Okay, perfect. So since you haven't eaten the last 8 hours, we'll take your blood before, and it will kind of be like a baseline for the rest of the test. I will then give you this drink very high in glucose. You'll drink it, and over the next 30 to 60 minutes, I'll periodically check your blood to see how your glucose levels change.
Okay.
3 hours later.
Okay, so the results are back. The results show that you have a very high level of glucose in your blood. This kind of says that you do have diabetes and that you specifically have type 2 diabetes. Okay, so for you to better understand, here's what happens in type 2 diabetes. Here's a diagram of a cell. So since you're eating foods very high in lipids and fats, these lipids surround your cells and end up destroying your insulin receptors. Insulin from the pancreas and the beta cells is needed to let glucose into the cells for energy. And you have insulin, but since these lipids are surrounding it, the insulin cannot get into the cells, therefore you cannot produce that energy from the glucose.
So what can I do to fight this disease?
Well, lucky for you, it is reversible, but it'll be a lot of hard work. You're going to have to pretty much flip your life around. You're going to have to eat healthier, watch what foods you're eating, and exercise a lot more. So in order to do this, here's the card of a dietitian who can help you control your food and what is going into your body.
Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate your help.
Uno Diabetes, appointment 1.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sexy. What's your name? Hello. You know. Excuse me?
Yeah, you know, Uno Diabetes.
Your name is Uno Diabetes.
Yes.
All right. Please have a seat. So why are you in here today?
I've been feeling really fatigued and I've lost 10 pounds and I've had a lot of mood swings.
So what's your diet like?
Pretty healthy. I have a lot of fruits and vegetables and a good amount of protein.
Okay. So that's a pretty good diet, but because of your symptoms, I'm going to do 2 different tests on you. So my previous patient, I did the glucose tolerance testing, so I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to do an insulin test on you to see whether your body produces insulin. And so I'm going to take your blood, and I'll use that sample, use an indicator to see whether your blood produces insulin from the pancreas of the beta cells. Okay, so your results came back, and it showed that your glucose test, you have a normal level of glucose in your body, which is really good. But the insulin test showed that you do not produce insulin.
So what does that mean?
So to better have you understand it, I'll have to explain the process of a feedback loop. So glucose enters your body through the foods that you eat, and when the glucose enters, the beta cells in your pancreas produces a thing called insulin. And the job of the insulin is to let glucose in the cells so that the glucose can be used for energy. And so the insulin and glucose travel throughout the bloodstream to the cells, and the insulin opens the cells for the glucose. but your body does not produce insulin, which happens and which is called type 1 diabetes. Okay, so because of this, your body has a disrupt in its homeostasis, or like equilibrium of your body. So because of this, in order to bring the homeostasis back to normal or to keep it level, I'm going to recommend an insulin pump. So what that will do, it will produce the insulin for you so that the insulin can let the glucose into your cells. If these diabetics do not follow my instructions, these complications could occur.
Gangrene, the dying of body tissues.
Uno! 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 What?
Hearing loss.
What number do you see?
21?
Eye complications. Oral health problems.
Life alert! I've fallen and I can't get up!
Stroke.
Hello, nice to see you again. To finish off this episode, we will check back with our chosen diabetics 1 month later. Please join me as we finish this amazing adventure.
Diabetes dose, the end of the month checkup. Oh, hey, Dr. Sexy!
Hello, Diabetes.
Good to see you!
Yes, you too. Well, I see you've been eating an apple.
Oh yeah, I've completely turned my life around. I went and saw the dietitian like you recommended.
Oh my gosh. So what did my dietitian share with you?
Well, the dietitian told me all about the different types of nutrients I was putting in my body, and she told me about how proteins and carbohydrates are used as energy, but I was consuming too many lipids, which was what was causing my disease. So I've really cut back on the amount of lipids I've been eating, and I've been monitoring the amount of carbohydrates and proteins I've put in my body.
Perfect. So has monitoring your food been easy?
It actually has. My dietitian showed me how to read food labels, which is a really convenient way for me to figure out how much of each nutrient I'm putting in my body. So I've really been monitoring my serving sizes, and that's really helped. Also, the dietitian always told me an apple a day keeps the doctor away, except for my monthly checkups.
Wow, Diabetes, I'm so glad you turned your life around and fought this disease.
Thank you. Also, feel free to join me in my fitness class tomorrow, 2 p.m. Keep the diabetes away. Let's do this together. All right, go team.
All right, bye.
Uno Diabetes, the end of the month checkup.
Oh my gosh, Uno Diabetes. Please have a seat.
I don't feel good.
Have you been taking insulin every day from the insulin pump I gave you?
Not every day.
Because you haven't been taking your insulin pump, you're hyperglycemic.
What is hyperglycemic?
It means that your glucose level in your blood is way too high because you have no insulin to let the glucose into cells compared to hypoglycemic where it's below the needed glucose. Uno Diabetes, why haven't you been taking your insulin from the insulin pump?
Because I don't really like needles and I didn't know that it was that important to take.
Well, I hate to say this to you, but this could cause death. This is really serious. Okay, so for a learning experience for our fellow viewers, please explain 3 ways your life has changed by being a diabetic.
I keep losing weight and there's tingling in my toes and I have a lot of mood swings.
These are just 3 of many ways that diabetes affects someone's life, and if you don't start taking your insulin from the insulin pump, then some really bad stuff can happen. So Lauren, please tell me you'll take your insulin.
Okay.
But wait, it's not over yet. This is an exclusive episode, so you get to see how these patients are doing 1 year later.
So, Diabetes, how is life now?
Life is great. I'm actually moving to California to start a workout club and a yoga program on Santa Barbara Beach. So, life's really good, and I seem to have everything together.
So, Uno Diabetes, how has your life changed?
About 2 months ago, I had a scare where I was rushed to the hospital because I had really high glucose levels. So I've decided that I needed to turn my life around, and I've been taking my insulin pump, and I've been feeling a lot better lately.
Thank you for joining us as we followed 2 diabetic patients for a month. Please join us next week as we follow 2 patients with whooping cough, and stay healthy.
Uno Diabetes, played by Lauren Johnson. Dr. Sexy, played by Mariah Sexy. Diabetri Dose, played by Brinn Strenger.